Supergirl, issue 2, legacy number 271. This is Sophie Campbell, both writing and doing the art. You weren't here for issue 1 of this. Did you have any strong feelings one way or the other?
No hot takes, I don't think. I think it's pretty solid. I think it's at points a little bit overly wordy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not super familiar with Campbell's previous work. I don't know if she's more well known as a writer or as an artist, but I suspect artist because I think the art's really strong. It's got a very, obviously this is taste dependent, but it has such a strong identity. I think it knows exactly what it is. And you can not like this if you don't like the style, but I think it's very good at what it is doing.
Mm.
And the writing, I think, is solid, but I think there are points that are overwritten, especially any points where it's using thought bubbles. I think those tend to be a bit overly clunky, and I get it's a creative choice to use thought bubbles instead of narration boxes. The benefit with narration boxes, though, is you can spread that thought of the narration out over a panel, over a page, whereas with a thought bubble, you are condensed to one bubble, so you can have the same amount of words, but it's a lot more packed in the thought bubble, and it looks a lot worse.
Yeah, there was that page in the first issue where she was doing the comb stuff with the hair, and there was like 4 panels in a row with these big thought bubbles, and it's going for that thing where she's she's young, her mind kind of races, so it's sort of intentionally doing wordiness to kind of like represent that. Yeah, no, but I enjoyed the first issue overall. I think this is also pretty solid. I think it's going for this sort of more bubbly, kind of fun book, and I think for the most part, it's succeeding in that, and the art is a big part of that. I like that it's back to like a small town kind of thing, and we're maybe building something of a supporting cast out a little bit. Obviously, Lena is in here at one point, and even directly references both like what she's been up to in the main Superman book, and they also drop a casual reference to what happened in Superman Unlimited issue 1 as well. Which I don't know if you've read that one yet. You not read that? I mean, you know what I'm talking about though, because they give you an editor's note at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, okay, all right, so we're doing the editorial, sort of keeping them all feeling a little bit, together. This issue starts off by answering kind of the mystery from the end of the last issue, which is who is this duplicate Supergirl, who's quite attention-seeking, shall we say. And it's actually someone in Kandor that Supergirl saved. So we sort of go back here and see kind of how she feels like she's ignored, that her parents are successful, Supergirl's successful, but she wants to be Supergirl. She wants to have that success, and she sees Supergirl's town as Midvale. She's got a bunny rabbit, and because she's good with tech, she's able to like find her way out of Kandor and into Midvale, and then kind of immediately like the sun actually changes her body and gives her the thick mum thighs. I'm not sure what the logic is there, but it is quite funny.
Yeah, I don't know quite why. Like, it like makes her jagged, gives her like muscles like immediately. I don't. We've never seen the sun do this to any Kryptonian ever, but whatever. I
think, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's an argument for like ones that come out of the Phantom Zone or something, where maybe it should happen. I get with Superman and Supergirl, the idea that they've grown up here. Even in Supergirl's case, she was here from like 13ish. Is that they grow into like their perfect forms because they were just growing up here, so there's no like quick transformation. It's like it's through puberty they get to what they end up as, and it's almost like this character's ideal form, either bit by her own taste or just I don't know, like the fates of like, oh no, you're going to be a thick-thighed mum kind of look is what you're going for. But yeah, she becomes her. So because one of the things the first issue does is it sort of teases like, okay, she can clearly fly, but Supergirl noticed that she was using like tech-based stuff, so it was kind of unclear if she actually was Kryptonian or not, or she had the full power set. This issue kind of makes it clear that she probably does have the full power set, but she just
doesn't know how to use it very well.
That, but also because she's always works with tech, that she likes to use tech, and it's kind of her thing. So she's complementing stuff with her, disguise technology or whatever it is. So what we find out though is that she basically built up a reputation by one doing simple little things, but then she started causing little disasters so she could swoop in and save people, like blowing the tree over that would almost hit someone, and then flying in and taking care of that. So when we get back to the present day bit, which is where Kara and her fake Linda here start yelling at each other, she whips out miniaturized Titano and makes him big again. And the entire gist of this big sequence that plays out for most of the issue is that Kara is concerned with the collateral damage and all the people who are in trouble with him being here, and or what was her name at the start of the issue? Lax or something like that. Something Lar.
It was definitely an L name.
It was something Lar. The parents were Lan Lar and Laura Lar. What was her name? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, she only cares about putting on a show and that people see her be a hero and people see her saving them. So Kara's trying to get rid of the people to safety, which pisses her off because she wants them all to see what she's doing. So even when she thinks she's dealt with Titano until Titano comes back, she gets pissed off, and obviously she's in over her head. Supergirl has to end up helping. In fact, she actually takes out her by turning Titano's head so that his kryptonite laser eyes hit the phony, and that knocks her out. So yeah. Also, we get some Crypto on Super Bunny action.
Because why not? Isn't that what everyone wanted from this book?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the big thing to say here, though, other than just the good character dynamics of what Supergirl's trying to do and what the fake one's trying to do and how that's causing more trouble, is just like how well sort of paced this entire sequence is. Like, I think the art is really good for all the fight. I really enjoyed it.
It's why I say I feel like she was primarily an artist before a writer. And I think it shows in the confidence and strength in the art is there more.
Yeah. Maybe it's the sort of thing where she's worried a little bit and she's like overcompensating with like dialogue when she doesn't need to.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like this. The conversation with Lena is so dialogue heavy. There's just, I think it is a little bit overdone, even though, like I said, the art's great. Could have carried the storytelling visually a lot more.
Yeah. Phony Supergirl is also very upset that everyone, despite still being confused, seem to all like real Supergirl now, even though they call her fake Supergirl. So
call her Phony Girl.
Phony Girl, yes, because of the P. But anyway, she calls Lena and wants help getting this P off of her outfit. That sounded weird. The letter P off of her outfit.
Like, even though I'm looking at it, I know exactly what you're talking about. It still took my brain a good second. Like, what?
Lena, I've pissed all over my super outfit. I need help.
What have I missed? Just for half a second, I was like, huh?
Yeah. Obviously, like, this choice to have Lena be her kind of like side character is obviously inspired by the TV show, right? Like, there's no way they didn't.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a very different Lena, and even just the fact that it's Lexi's daughter and not sister is a big change. But the personality is so different as well that it doesn't even feel like it's doing what the TV show did, even though clearly the decision to put them together is absolutely because of the TV show.
It absolutely is. But that TV show was not a young goth teenager.
No. So different dynamic here for sure. Also, Streaky the Cat shows up, which is always a delight. I love that Streaky just like wanders anywhere. You know, like Kara's like, "Oh, you damn cat! This is where you showed up." And I'm like, can Streaky just like go around the globe, just show up anywhere? You know, even leave the planet potentially.
Probably. I think that they're trying to show us the difference here between Streaky and Crypto. Like the dog just follows around with Kara, does what told, like comes and helps the fight. Streaky, no. Streaky the cat just does her own thing, like off doing whatever.
Yeah. So there's a lot of dialogue about like what was happening to the outfit here, why this symbol, I'll say, won't come off. And there's a bunch of techno babble about how to try and do it, but in the meantime, all those boxes of old outfits that were thrown out of the parents' house might come in handy until this one's fixed, until the nice shiny new one's ready. So when we get to the end of the issue, we get like a montage of her trying on various outfits, some of which like I mean, I'm going to assume these are all pulled from somewhere in history. Although I'm having a hard time imagining where the first slitty one came from.
Yeah, I
But
was thinking that. I don't know that one.
yeah, but the end result is the classic 70s one, which is the S is just on one side with the kind of almost like a blouse kind of look to it.
Sash look, yeah.
So yeah, that's something. Meanwhile, our villain is like basically getting her own outfit ready and is pissed that she lost, but also she's made a giant ray gun fueled by black kryptonite. I'm glad they addressed it because it's not so much that I needed to address because I could see she was wearing gloves, but she's just casually like, handling black kryptonite. I thought, wait a minute, shouldn't she be also feeling some effects from this? But so okay, it has to be touched. The gloves are protecting her.
Those are pretty big hazard material gloves.
They are. So yeah, and they do point out here. She says that this will make her lose her inhibitions, go moronically stupid, as well as become antisocial and an asshole. So this is kind of like the red kryptonite from Smallville, but this sounds maybe with the addition of the dumb part. I don't know if that made him dumb in that show.
No, I don't think so. It did the remove inhibitions. That was kind of its main thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe I'm giving Smallville no props today, but I will say I do kind of like the consistency of the red kryptonite having one effect, because one of the things in comics that's so annoying about red kryptonite is that every single writer is like, yeah, oh, this will give him a cold, oh, this will make him horny, this will make him, like it's always something different.
Tell you what, over 10 seasons of Smallville, if Red K showed up, you knew what was about to happen.
Absolutely. I appreciate consistency, is all I'm saying. But anyway, that's what they're going to do with the black kryptonite here. So the final page that reveals what she's going to be wearing, we also get the villain in her outfit with the L shape on her, like where her cape connects at the front. Which I will say this.
She did have that when she came through at the start in her own outfit.
Oh, for sure. She didn't have this slutty version, though, that she's wearing at the end.
No, but she had the L clasp.
Yes. That's her family symbol. I will say I did roll my eyes a little bit of it being just an L in the Superman emblem shape. It's like, okay, I buy that the House of L's one happens to look like an S, but if you have another family have one that just happens to look a letter that also coincides with what their name starts with, it's just a little bit on the nose.
A little bit, yeah. I think it's worse because like the L one being an S, like. L doesn't start with an S, right? Is my point here. Whereas La does start with an L. It feels lazier.
Yes, and I do realize that in some versions, Zod's symbol is kind of a Z, which I also would say that they shouldn't do. I prefer it when it's the other one that looks a bit more neutral.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway,
it was quite as well that the purple and green felt very Luthor colours.
And obviously the L feels very Luthor as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, as much as I mentioned the thighs earlier, the page that made me remember them was this final page, because like when they're standing back to back like that, they're not in the same scene, obviously, but they're presented back to back. Like, the thighs on this woman are robust. Shall we say?
Crush even if she wasn't Kryptonian.
Yes, they could crush a man. Remember that scene from The Boys season 1?
How can I forget?
She's a prime.
How can anyone forget?
She's a prime candidate for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worst ways to die.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so yes, because that's the thing. Because she's disguising her face and hair the whole time. She's actually, well, she's one of yours. She's a ginger.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, so, which is even more Luthor in some ways.
Secret Luthor reveal incoming.
Anyway, yeah, it was mostly a fun time. I enjoyed, the friendship with Lena sort of starting up properly. I think was kind of nice. The joke of the montage of the costumes was a bit fun. And the fight with Titano was good. It's particularly the dynamics of like how they're both trying to do very different things in that fight. And like Supergirl's frustration that the other one just wants to make it worse so she'll look like more of a hero regardless of the collateral damage. I thought it was an interesting dynamic to be beyond just stopping Titano, which was made that a bit more fun. So what are you giving Supergirl?
I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. Good, enjoyable. A little bit of a wordy for my tastes, but I'm hoping will improve over time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with the 7.